What I'm going to be doing is some little cooking for you. I'll probably do it in steps, but the idea is a turkey dinner. You know, your basics, full bird turkey, stuffing, mashed potatoes, a vegetable. Um, I might even go as far as doing a pie. Who knows? We'll see. But yeah, this is just an introduction, so I hope you enjoy it, and let's get on cooking. In this segment, we're going to talk about prepping the turkey. Now, I've already done a couple steps because of the time frame. As you see here, I have a strange-looking bag in a bowl with obviously a turkey inside. What's in the bag? Okay, it's a 15 pound turkey. A quart of buttermilk mixed with salt and pepper. It basically, if you want to call it, after I clean the turkey itself, which is very important, basically clean the turkey, loosen the skin by putting your hand underneath the breasts and down into the thighs and legs, which is important because you do not want to break the skin. You want to go underneath the skin and then pull, separate the membrane, and you're going to wave your fingers and tuck your fingers and do all sorts of weird things with your fingers just to get inside that breast. Now, if it stretches enough, you can actually slip it back, but this is the important part. You want to make sure not to tear the skin of the turkey. So then you put it in the bag, buttermilk, salt, pepper, swish it around, and you wind up getting this. Now, what do you do now after it's been in the refrigerator for an extended, it's already defrosted, what do you do with it now? So now it's time to take it out. It's very important that when you do this, you want to make sure that nothing is on your kitchen counter. I've removed pads such as this for drying. I've removed cutting boards and so on. So let's basically just get it out of the bag, because what you're going to do is I'm going to take this and put it in the sink, and I've already washed the sink and everything. Careful not to bust the bag, because this is a good time of when it will bust. Basically, I'm going to tip it on its side, and I'm going to cut the bag and then drain it out on top. Again, anything that you use as far as utensils, you want to make sure that you immediately wash. What's going to happen is you're going to be putting a lot of bacteria from the turkey onto your utensils, so you don't want to touch them and use them with anything else until you get them clean. So I'm basically just tearing the bag, and you see that here's the turkey. I could probably lift it right out of there. Okay, so there's my turkey. Now what do you do with the bag? This is immediately trash. I'm just dumping it out so I don't have all that stuff sitting in my garbage can for a little while. It's basically milk. I use buttermilk. Immediately wash my hands. I'm going to do this multiple times. Okay, now you have the bird. Let's see if this is in frame. Let me get you guys a little closer. Okay, after I got you guys a little closer, to show you what I mean by the turkey. You see how the skin is completely loose. There is some little membranes in there, but eventually that's going to be something that I will fix. But dump out the cavity completely. I know this is kind of gross for some people. That's how it's going to sit. Cold water. Notice I'm being kind of weird with my hands. With low stream water, I'm basically just rinsing. I don't need the peppercorn or the anything else that was on there. Problem with my hose. I didn't hear that. So basically you want to rinse this out everywhere about this turkey. See how loose the skin is? I think I just tore it. Yeah, I did. Back just to get remnants off, because I'm going to be seasoning this with something else. So basically you wash this turkey again clean, and then the next step is that you want it to be completely dry. So your paper towel, use paper towels to get it as dry as you possibly can. Okay, after you've washed the bird and tried to dry it off the best you can, you're going to basically take it and you're going to put it in the tray in the pan that you're actually going to use. Okay, it's at this time that you're basically going to set the bird how you're going to cook it. Of course, paper towels are just facilitated for drying, and they'll be thrown away, quick disposable. You can use a rag, kitchen rag as well. However, you're going to be sure to clean it. So you want to dry this loose, old-looking bird. See how the skin is just coming off like that, you know, and this will actually come back like this. You want to dry this sucker. Dry it as deep as you can, and not for any other reason otherwise to once you prep the bird, and you'll see me drying multiple times. Once you prep the bird to cook, there are certain things that you're going to do to ensure that you get a very nice skin to it, and this is one of the steps. A dry skin is going to be a crispy skin. You'll season on top of that as well. So those are some things that have to happen. You can't just buy a turkey, pull it out of the wrapper or whatever. You know, if I could kill my own turkey and, you know, clean it and do all that, I would. You know, you have to remove the crap out of the. I should show you. This is what came out of it. This is the neck, which I'll use in gravy, and then kidney, liver, hearts. Do not put your liver in your gravy. You can chop it up and put it in after, but if you, as you're cooking your gravy, you don't want to overcook that liver. It will just totally wreck your gravy. But we'll get into that if you're making giblet gravy, that is. Some people eat the neck. Some people, you know, they use it. I don't use it that much. But make sure to remove it. They put it inside the neck cavity and the breast cavity of your bird when you buy it from the store. But again, back and forth, you're always you want this to be the driest bird that you could possibly make. There are things that we're going to do to make it not a dry bird in the end. But again, really look. Can you see how loose all that was? And because I'm going to wash my hands again. Basically, you're taking your hand and you're going as deep down in. See, my whole hand is in there. It's kind of like putting on a rubber glove. But you want to go all the way down, and then there's a separate cavity where you can actually come down here and hit the legs and all the way around. I don't know how I'm getting my arm in the way. But you want to be able to have all that clear, loose skin. Okay? And again, on the leg, same way. Okay? And you can always expand on this. The reason for that is because we are going to put a butter mixture underneath the skin. And that is where you get all your season and flavor from. Anybody that tries to season through the skin is an idiot. It doesn't work. You season the skin, but but it doesn't season the bird. Okay, those two different things. So that's what I got for now, and we'll move it on. In this quick segment, I'm showing you what I'm going to use to stuff my turkey with. No, I don't mean stuff, I mean go underneath the skin by the parts of the meat that you're going to eat. There's basically 2 sticks of butter, full sticks, salted butter, and then inside of it I have dillweed, rosemary, some sea salt from a grinder, some poultry seasoning, some onion powder, a little black pepper, and a couple shakes of olive oil. You're basically going to knead this, mix it up until it's very green looking. As the butter melts, you don't want to put it in an oven. You're cooking off some things that you want to keep in your cooking process of your turkey. So this is just a warming, room temperature butter. The softer it is, the better it will be, or easier for you to mix. See how it kind of gets like a green texture to it, but you really want to mix it much better. So I'm going to be mixing this for a little while, and then once it's manual, then I will put it underneath the turkey skin. So I'm not going to show you that part because it's gross, long, and then I can't turn off the camera because I have to wash my hands. So yeah, that's pretty much all it is. So that's it for now, and more to come. Now that we have our butter mixture, under the skin mixture for the turkey, it's soft, it's mixed, it's got kind of a lime green look to it. I don't know if it comes up well on the camera, but this is basically the messy part. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and walk you through. It's pretty self-explanatory. I'm not using any gloves, but you're just taking a dab of butter, and you're going to lift the skin, and you're going to start forcing it and rub all over the inside, touching the meat. It's kind of important. You don't want to get it on the outside of the turkey. That step is later, but you basically want to get as much of that in there as possible. You're forcing it in, yeah. You're just getting as much butter mixture as you can while rubbing it all over the meat on the breast and the leg. It is kind of messy and gross, but it is going to make a big difference when you cook your turkey. Get some more here. And if it was turned the other way, it'd be easier. But I'm trying to do this for you guys in camera so you can see. Now this right here, this is basically, this is where the turkey came. A lot of turkeys come with a plastic ring or something like that, but this one did. Again, you kind of just go into town with this butter everywhere that you can on the inside of the turkey. It's just gonna, cook. It's gonna season it from both ends basically, and that's kind of what you want. Blob in there. Okay, so I got it pretty well caked. Again, you want to make sure it goes deep. And again, because we've spread out the skin, it's really going to adhere to the all the different parts underneath. I'm not too really concerned with the wings. They kind of do their own thing. And with 2 sticks of butter, that's how much I have left. I might use that for something a little bit later, but for now, that's pretty much it. It's as much over the turkey as possible, and I will show you the next step to clean it up and make it look a little bit more presentable. Okay, move the camera. Alright, so this is a trick. This is what you do to tighten up the skin. You just microwave a little bowl of water, and you don't want to pour it down in the cavity. You want to just drizzle it over the top and over the leg. Hopefully it won't get any inside. And what this does is, you see how it tightens up the skin? See how it just retracted back like that? And this is a pretty basic type of thing to do. But the tighter that skin is, the more you're going to lock in all that flavor. So it did get tight, and this can still be pulled up a little bit, and because you want that to be kind of covered, you retuck your legs like so, and that's pretty much, as they say, deal done. Now the next thing we'll do is what goes in the cavity, and I'll give you a hint: it's not stuffing, even though it gets stuffed. So more to come. Alright, second attempt. This is what you put in your turkey inside the cavity. You basically celery, and I have a sweet onion. You quarter the onion, and then you wide chop the celery. So stuffing these in the cavity of the turkey, and you alternate. I just, a little celery here, little onion, and the more you can jam in there, the better. All it's going to do is make your gravy that much better, because it's going to mix with all the flavors. And not give you a dry turkey. These are just one more added things to do. And that's about all I can fit in there. Alright. So one whole onion and about 80% of a stalk. Alright, what I have for you now is pretty much the last step before it goes in the oven. What I've put in the pan is about half a cup of white wine. And now we got some seasonings for the outside of the bird. Rosemary, I prefer to use fresh, but where I am right now, couldn't find any. I'm still getting used to the area where I live. I live in Florida. Yeah, the grocery store, my local grocery store, is pretty much out of that kind of thing. So had to go with this. It'll do. Sea salt is a must. You don't use table salt. Use a grinder salt that you're going to use, and you're basically just going to go to town on the outside of the turkey with this. This doesn't do much but dry up the skin itself. Try not to spill all over the place here. And again, it's a dry turkey. The skin is dry, so you see some of the things bounce off. That's just part of it. So be it. And again, this is pretty much it. 3 things on the outside of the bird: stuffed onions, some celery, some white wine in the base, and all that's going to do is, as the juices go down from the turkey, it's going to mix with the wine. Flavor is going to surround the bird, along with the flavors that are inside the bird with the butter, rosemary, dill, all the different things I had in the earlier part of the video. You can see that the skin is pretty tight onto the parts of the bird. The configuration I have of the bird, you can see big dollop of butter there, but there's butter throughout everywhere. Actually everywhere except for the wing. The wings are fine. I'm not really too concerned with those. If I feel like picking at those, I will, but you know, not too many people go crazy over turkey wings. Breast meat, leg meat, thigh meat, you know, that type of thing. That's what goes. So now we're going to put this in the oven at, this is where it gets tricky. I go high heat for half an hour, and then I reduce the heat to about 250 for the long, slow cook. Okay. When I do that, as I check the temperature of the turkey periodically, you know, maybe once during the cooking of a 3-hour time frame, I want to make sure to test my meat, check my meat with the thermometer. Now, I had to go through this the hard way, and I go into my thing here. Sorry for noise. A few years back when I got into cooking, I got a thermometer like this, and this looks like a fancy chef thing, and on the outside it's got temperatures for poultry, it's funny because you know how men, we don't like to read? Well, on this thing it says, warning, thermometer will melt if left in oven. And I remember after the fact thinking how stupid I was, because basically you just take this and you stick it in and you pull it out. This used to have a plastic cover over the top of it, and I did actually leave it in once, and it melted that sucker off. Just popped it completely free. It still does work, but I decided to go a little bit more professional route. So back to what I was saying about this. This is more of a chef, professional thermometer that actually can be left in. This is glass. It's not plastic. These are kind of cool to have because they give you, there's a couple different things they give you. First of all, there's markings for temperature all the way around. They're very visible and easy to read. And then it gives you like beef rare, what temperature, 140 degrees. If you're really going that deep into cooking and you want to know your temperatures, I'm no chef. This is just a hobby of mine. I'm a single guy who likes to be in the kitchen. I cook all my own meals, and I'm not a big fan of going out to eat by myself. So cooking has turned into one of my favorite things to do. I find it therapeutic, so that's why I have all this crap. Now I like to shoot guns and cook and eat. So it gives you all sorts of little cliff notes, if you will, on the face of it as well as on the tube it comes with. Gives you all your temperatures and cooking. So it's got ground meat, beef, veal, lamb, which I eat beef, but I don't eat veal, lamb very rarely, poultry, pork. So turkey done is 180 degrees. Okay, that means the meat at your thickest point, or the slowest cooking part of your meat, is 80 degrees or 180 degrees. So this is a very good thing to have. I actually don't leave it in the oven while I'm cooking. I might try this time, but we'll just have to see what happens. But now preheat your oven to 450 degrees, and this is a critical point because you're going to leave it in the oven at 450 degrees for about 30 minutes, and that's it. After that, you're going to remove it out of the oven, reduce the heat down to 250, and then it's going to be the long cook. This turkey here will be probably about 2.5 to 3 hours. I will be checking it after 2 hours to see where I am. But no basting. I'm not doing any basting to this whatsoever. The only time I'm going to open the oven is to check the temperature of the meat, and that's it. Okay. Yeah, I have basted in the past, but I'm not doing it anymore. I just find it the crust comes out better if you leave, or the skin comes out better if you leave it alone. So, and the way I prep the inside of the turkey and the inside of the skin, it's gonna be a very moist turkey. My brine also helped as well, or will help as well, and you'll get to see that. So, all right, we're moving right along. Alright, so it's been a half an hour. Let's take the turkey out of the oven for the first part. Let's see what we got. Okay. So what do we see? Now, first couple things we see is we have retraction of the skin, which is fine. Let me adjust my temperature. So again, temperature down to 250. While that's doing its thing, yeah, go ahead. Roger that. Well, that's doing its thing. I did this little trick here. This is a, I guess you call it a, I don't know. It's going to cover your turkey so that you're not going to burn. Okay, so you basically adjust the size accordingly. Little paper airplane looking thing. And you're just going to do that with it. Let me get that. So you're basically going to mold this on to the front of your turkey here. And what that will do is, that is going to aid in the browning and not dry out your breast. Okay? Another thing, all the wine is gone basically in the bottom of the turkey pan. So, which is fine. I'm going to add a little. Now you don't want this touching the bottom of the turkey. I'm just loading this up until it covers pretty much the stand it's raising, it's holding the turkey on. This will also facilitate your, go with it. This will also facilitate your gravy. Okay. So it's one whole container, which was 32 ounces of turkey broth. Now, so after the oven has been reduced in temperature, let me see if I can give you a better look at some of these areas. Now this is the first time me cooking a turkey in this oven, but as you see there's some hot spots, but what it's doing is it's giving you the idea of what the browning will look like. It's going to even get better from there. But the idea is you don't want to have any burn areas. These are just browned areas. And again, our insides are just kind of doing their job. So from here, my temperature has gone down to 250, back in the oven. Okay, so it's been about 2 hours. So now this is the first time I'm opening the oven. Let's see what we have as far as our turkey goes. Okay. So, okay. So what we're looking at here, and I'll turn it for you a little bit so you can see. Initially, I'll take that off. Okay. So what we're looking at is some good browning so far, and some good fluids. The difference between the liquid in the pan is you can see that there's some fatty liquids that have come from the turkey down into the base, which is good. Another thing I'm going to add is, let's check temperature here. So where do you put the thermometer when you're checking the temperature? Where you want to go is you want to go into, make sure not to touch the bone. I'm going to go right on the inside. I'm not going to puncture the skin. And let's see where we are. Okay, so right now we're at 120 degrees. Let's check the, now for the leg I'm not too overly concerned. Just want to make sure you don't touch the bone. Now I might be touching a little bone there, but it's at steady 130 degrees. Okay, let's check this other one here. a good bone spot there. Alright, so, and on that side it's just at 130, maybe 135 degrees. Okay. Now, what about temperature inside? Again, I'm just doing this for you guys so you can see. Temperature of the inside, and this is why stuffing a turkey is a big issue, is inside the turkey itself, it's probably at 110 degrees. So you have a, 125, 120, 110 inside the turkey, and then so there are different temperatures that you see. If I can do this without pulling out anything. Okay, so now we're going to go right back in the turkey, not basting, not doing anything. If you go around the turkey and you look, there was some retraction with the skin there. I'm not really going to worry about that. If I try to, I guess I could try. Yeah, if I try to pull it, it's going to break. So I'm going to leave it as is. It's going back in the oven, and I'm actually going to just put it right back in the oven. Okay, so that's where we stand right now, and we still got a long ways to go. Again, 180 degrees is where we want to be, and I hope this is educational, helpful for some people out there. Again, I left this off. We're going to leave that off. I just wanted from the 450 to the 250. I wanted to make sure that we didn't have any temperature change and excessively burn the skin itself. So now we're just going to let it sit, and it's good. We're looking for 180 degrees. Okay, this is an update. Let's take a look at our turkey now after some more time in the oven. Let's see what kind of color we got and temperature. Okay, so immediately we look, and we're getting some good color, but I'm a little concerned about our temperature here. So let's take a look. Again, we're looking for 180 degrees. And you make sure to not touch the bone. Yeah, we're almost at 140 on that. Let me see what I can find here. And again, no bone. And that's 140 there. Excuse me. And the leg is looking like 145. Okay, so we're at about 140 all around, which is good. I'm going to put this back on there. Let me try and make this a little bit better. Just like that. So we're doing fine. Again, yeah, I'm okay with it. We're doing fine here. So back in the oven, and we'll do another check here in a little bit. Alright, this should be probably the final check. Hopefully we get a good temp out of the oven. Alright, we got some nice color. Let's see what we got here. Looks like we got some color top down. I'm not liking the oven. It's my first major cooking in this house I'm in. But it is what it is. I think that might be about it. But let's take a look at the temperature here. Okay. So, what's our breast doing? Our breast showing 150. Leg is at 180. Our legs are done. And wow. You got one leg done. You got hit bone. That one's like 165. Let's see what this does. That side is just under 180. Let's see what this size does. Wow, why is it one side of this is not, it's 180 on this side, 160 on that side. What do we got for internal? Internal, again, 150. This is a good example to point out why you don't stuff a turkey. What happens is you overcook your breast, all your meat, what you want, and the turkey gets overcooked. If you wait for the stuffing to go up to, it's supposed to be 160 to between 160 and 180 degrees for your stuffing. So here we are. I would say we're pretty much at rest time on this turkey. I might crank the heat up real quick just to glaze over some of this stuff here to get the color, but I think this front of this breast is done. Well, it's showing 160 right there. It looks to be, I don't know. It's all about temperature to whether or not your turkey is done. I think we might want to leave it in just a little bit longer, but I think we're close to that point where you can overcook a turkey. You can sit and let it continue cooking out of the oven. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed my cooking a turkey video. I know it was long, so I'll make this really quick and short. I'm going to have a whole more series on different items to cook, my version, if you will. Again, these are just my, I guess, my things, how I cook a turkey, how I do mashed potatoes, how I do my stuffing, stuff like that. So you can take from it what you want, and you know, anybody that likes to cook, they take, you know, I usually like to use the example when I first started cooking. I'd go to the store and buy a whole bunch of different spices, and then you try and make something basic, and then you just reach into your spice cabinet or whatever and just start giving it a shot. And then from there you learn and you figure out what works for you. You make some mistakes along the way, but usually you do enjoy what you're making, regardless of the outcome. You definitely learn from your taste by making mistakes and also making really good choices. So I hope you enjoyed it, and hope you'll leave comments, and yeah, more videos to come on this topic. Alright, thanks for watching.